Hi, I am Andy XL back with my latest FIFA World Cup podcast for 2026. So, day seven now, and this is the big day for us in England as our team get their tournament underway, having had the long wait to watch everybody else play. I'll cover that game in detail, but there are three other games to look at as the first game of group games is completed on day seven. So let's start with Portugal versus the Democratic Republic of Congo. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo have vied to be the greatest of their generation throughout their own incredible careers. Both will surely be appearing at a World Cup finals for the last time here, and Ronaldo would love to get a World Cup medal, winner's medal, to match the one Messi got 4 years ago. But he is not the only reason to fear Portugal in this tournament. The likes of Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Vitinha, and João Neves will make them far more than the one-man show they were in some earlier tournaments. And with Ruben Diaz at the heart of their defence, they still look strong in all departments. My concern is how this all gels together, and with a number of their top players being around or over 30, how will they stand up to the rigours of a long, energy-sapping tournament is another concern for me. Here they take on a Congolese team that is full of players that are employed across Europe, but not really for the top teams. Their squad includes plenty of Premier League players from last season, such as Aaron Wan-Bissaka of West Ham, Axel Tuanzebe of Burnley, Noah Sadiki of Sunderland, and Johan Wissa of Newcastle. But their players are well short of the level of the Portuguese players, so this will be a very tough assignment for them. They only qualified via the playoffs from the African section, beating Nigeria in a penalty shootout to book their tickets to the USA. They were also underwhelming at AFCON, losing to Algeria in the round of 16, and Algeria hardly boosted that form yesterday. So Portugal, who won their qualifying group ahead of the Republic of Ireland and have won seven and drawn three of the last 12 games, should have enough to comfortably win this game. I will take them to do so by a score of 2-0. Right, let's move on to the big game then for us, England versus Croatia. England have been shown the exit door at two major tournaments in the last 15 years by Croatia, but overall have a winning record against them. And right now, this England squad contains more players at or near their prime than the Croatian one does. Two questions loom for me over England in this tournament. Firstly, are they good enough defensively to go all the way? And secondly, are they too reliant on Harry Kane for their goals? The first is a greater concern for me than the latter, as I think there is enough attacking quality in this squad to score goals, even if Kane does not get them. Granted, their qualification group was not a strong one, but winning all 8 games, scoring 22 and conceding none is about as good as anybody could have done in that group, or in any group for that matter. And I'm not concerned about the stuttering friendly performances put up by part weakened, part experimental lineups against Uruguay and Japan at Wembley earlier this year. Next to the French squad, for me, this is the most talented squad in the tournament, as there's plenty of depth to it too. Coach Thomas Tuchel has done what I have pleaded with previous English coaches to do at previous tournaments. That is, not just pick the best players, but pick the players that fit the plan best. And that plan appears to be use Kane as the focal point, but with plenty of midfield players that are happy to support him or even run beyond him. The only player I think maybe should have been in this squad is Kieran Gibbs White at the expense of one of the defensive squad players. But apart from that, I think Tuchel, has clearly constructed a squad good enough and well prepared enough to be a major force in this World Cup. The defence, though, will be an area of concern against the very best teams, but I think England will score plenty in this tournament, so that takes some of the pressure off that defence. They open up against Croatia, who have a squad with promising young talent in it, but also plenty of players in the twilight of their careers. So for me, the younger Croatian generation is a tournament or two away from being top level, whilst the older generation are a tournament or two beyond their best levels. They were unbeaten in qualification, but an average Czech Republic team were the only real competition in that group. And if you consider England are more at the level of Belgium and Brazil, and maybe better than both of those, and Croatia have lost 2-0 and 3-1 to those teams this year, they look like they face a tough task to get anything out of this game. I'm going to take England to ease to a pretty comfortable 3-0 or 3-1 win here. So a pretty emphatic start for England is what I'm predicting. I'm not normally that confident about England, but I am this time. One thing I would note for this game is why players seem to have been scoring regularly against Croatia in recent games. Whoever starts in those positions for England, and it may be Anthony Gordon and Noni Madueke for this one, instead of Marcus Rashford and Bukayo Saka, but whoever starts in those positions, they could be the ones to note in this game. And if it's Gordon, especially him, as he loves to get into the opponent's box more than, say, Madueke. So there'd be some people for maybe anytime goal scorer bets if you're looking at that direction. But this isn't really a betting preview to me. This is more what I think is going to happen. And I take England to win their first game quite comfortably. Ghana and Panama also meet tonight. They come into this tournament in poor form. Ghana with just one draw against Wales and 5 losses in their last 6 games. Those losses being against Mexico, Germany, Austria, South Korea, and Japan. So they need to find some form and confidence if they are to progress to the knockout phases of this tournament. Antoine Semenyo of Manchester City is their star player, but they will be without former Arsenal players Thomas Partey at the heart of their midfield, as he has been refused a visa due to his off-field court-related issues. Panama eased through a far from challenging CONCACAF qualification group, but have lost to Brazil 6-2 and Mexico 1-0 in friendly this year. Draws with Bosnia and Herzegovina and Bolivia, plus another draw with South Africa and a narrow win over the South Africans, give us an indication of where this team stands, and that is to say it's far from great. They have 6 players in their squad with over 90 caps to their name, so experience is not an issue, and they may be more suited to the climatic conditions than most in this tournament. That makes this game a matchup between a team with potential but in poor form in Ghana and a team that is not very good but may have the nous to know how to limit the opposition in these conditions. As such, this is a tough one to call. So time for me to sit on the fence and get splinters then. But both teams look suspect defensively, so a 2-2 draw is my guess. Final game today is Uzbekistan versus Colombia. Now, I play in a pool league, and one of my pool teammates said last week that he doesn't even know where Uzbekistan is. He couldn't point to it on a map. But I'm not going to say who he is, but he may be more familiar with a bit of Colombian. Anyway, what can we expect in this game? As the last 2 teams to join the action and being in the same group as Portugal and the Congo, a loss here with Portugal still to play would be a bad start for the team that loses this one. Colombia will be strong favourites to win this one, and rightly so. Luis Diaz provides the star quality up front, and they have a number of more than decent players throughout their squad. They have won 7 and drawn 1 of the last 10 games. The losses coming to France and Croatia in March were no disgrace, and they have beaten the likes of Australia, New Zealand, and Mexico this year. The Uzbeki squad is largely home-based or play across the Middle East, which is whereabouts they sit on the map, but incidentally, just above the Middle East, above Asia, near Turkey, south of Russia. You've got the idea. Um, so the Uzbeki squad is largely home-based and played across the Middle East and enjoyed a mixed bag of recent results, but build-up game losses to the Netherlands and Canada indicate they will do well to get anything out of this game. They have generally conceded two goals to decent opposition, which Colombia are, and the South Americans have not conceded many recently. So I will go for a routine 2-0 Colombia win here to round the evening off. But overall, the highlight of the day is England get off to a fine start. That's my prediction. So yesterday, by the way, 3 out of 4 winning teams predicted correctly, hit the post 3 times on correct score, just missing out by 1 goal on each occasion. So not in bad form, but could do with getting a correct score or 2 right in the near future. Tomorrow, after the first round of group games is finished, I'm going to come back with a summation of each group, where it stands now, and I'm going to give you my top 10 teams to win the tournament after the first round of games. And I'll also look forward to tomorrow's games, which will be the first time we see teams for the second time. So that's it for me from now. I'll see you tomorrow.